So check this out. Probably looks like a Sony Walkman or some kind of tape recorder, but it's not. It's some kind of weird thing from IBM. I don't actually know what it is, so let's take a closer look. So here it is a little bit closer, and to make it even more strange, I got a second one of these. I got both of these at a flea market. I paid about $6 each. They are similar, but there are some differences. You can see the way that they're configured. This has volume here, for instance. This doesn't. This has some arrows. This actually has some other things here. But let me show you kind of what's going on here. There's some weird adapters here at the side. I don't know what that is. You can unsnap this. So when you unsnap it, you see that there's some kind of switch here that maybe opens this up. This looks like it's a battery holder. On the back side is this little reflective window. Don't know why. And it's obviously meant to be portable, handy handle. You see here it says tuning, and then it says LTR, letter, and then second. Here is stop, LIS, possibly listen, reverse. So in that way it does look like a tape recorder, but it's just really strange. I love that this has a tuning fork as if it's the universal symbol for tuning. I'm gonna take this out of the leather kind of case, unsnap this, unscrewed this, and I can kind of now push this out. Doesn't give me really any more information than I had. So let's look in the battery compartment. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so cool. That's an IBM battery. But look at that. Isn't that fantastic? The IBM logo. So I'll be honest, I'm completely lost. I am not able to, at the moment, figure anything out on this thing. There's no immediate way to open it up. There's no numbers, right? There's no IBM model, blah, 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 anywhere. I did an image search on Google, and it looks like this is some kind of dictating unit. It was used for like a boss to dictate, and then his administrative assistant would, kind of type it up. It's not terribly exciting, but I'd like to get inside and look at it. And what you actually have to do is press this button in. Goes in a little bit. Hit this, and you can pull out sideways. And I'm just doing it now for the first. Oh, I guess maybe it doesn't come all the way out. But here's the magnetic belt that it's recorded on. And apparently you could replace that. So this magnetic recording tape, which you see here out of the machine, is really the same thing that you would see in an 8-track or in a cassette tape. And it's just made a lot larger, and it's slightly different because the head also is moving across the tape as you record and play. So these are, not surprisingly, two different models. The first one is the Model 224. This one, which I assume came after, is the Model 224-274. Another difference is the logo. This is the logo on the 224. This is the logo on the 224-274. To me, this is a more iconic logo for IBM. Love it. There are some extra controls in here. Record level guide. Looking at these from the side, you see there's actually a couple of differences. I think this is a microphone and this is a microphone. I believe this and this were connections to like a pedal where the administrative assistant could work the pedal to stop and start it. Another important thing is that this one has a jack where you can plug in an external power supply, so that's going to be very useful. You have to wonder why they didn't do that on this one. Before I go too far taking this thing apart, I'm actually going to try to test it. This is the battery case, and in the bottom I should be able to hook up kind of an alligator clip. And it's hard to see, but there is another metal connection there. That must be like the negative. So it is now jerry-rigged up to a power supply set at about 9 volts. I would be shocked if it works. I got nothing. I guess I will try to open this up. I can't actually even get this out of the case. I did finally get it out. It looks like this thing hooks onto this little, I don't know, piece here. And I just, honestly, I took a screwdriver and kind of pried it up and then just was able to detach that and then pull it out all the way. So the motor must be in here and any kind of belt or pulley. So I got to get to that. I can see that there is a belt here. It is all gummed up and actually it's broken. I mean, that's a problem, but again, at the moment, the motor's not even turning. So you can actually get in here a little bit. Just push the switch up and it will pop up. It'll actually allow you to change the belt ultimately. There's also rollers in there. The rollers are keeping this thing down and in place. You'll also see the head right there. I'm actually gonna switch from working on this one to this one because this actually looks like it has a belt that is more or less in place. Partially have it working. I haven't heard anything yet. This machine, the one with the arrows, actually has a power in, an auxiliary power. So this is running at about 10 3/4 volt. The positive is on the tip. It's the smallest jack size. The jack fits through the 7/64, but it's a little big. And initially, I had shoved this thing in all the way, but it wasn't working. So watch, I have it shoved in all the way. If I turn it on, so you got to turn it on by click and then go here, nothing happens. But when I started to pull it out, so it actually has to be in like that, you'll hear it kind of click. So it seems to be moving like I'd expect it to be moving, but I'm not hearing anything. Also, this should be moving and moving this along here, along the belt. That's not working, but I assume I should hear something on this track, and I'm not. And if I manually move it, you can manually move it by pushing this up and over. I don't hear anything. Could be that the tape is blank. Could be that the head is dirty. Cleaning the head didn't do anything. I'm actually going to try to swap out this magnetic belt. It looks like if I kind of pick it up out of here, I can just slide it up and over. Yeah, see? Okay. So what I'll do is I'll take this one off and put the other one on. This does have some buildup on the rollers and things, but yeah, definitely. I have the new tape in. That's pretty cool. Again, I think it's repeating itself over and over. It's a little hard to tell because it's obviously like a kid goofing with his mom or dad's dictating machine. This should be moving along by itself, but because this belt isn't moving, it's not moving it along like the tracker in here. So I'm hearing the same thing over and over. But by reversing it, I can, and again, I can actually start at the beginning. It's obviously working. I would like to get that thing working so it will track along and you can hear the whole thing. That's pretty damn cool. I believe that this is the microphone. So I'm going to see if I can just do a quick recording. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. So not able to get it to record. Not sure if I'm not doing it correctly, or it could be that the record mechanism isn't working. I am going to try to take this piece off, get in there, fix that belt, and see if I can get this thing to move along as it plays. There is 1, 2, and then on the other side, 3 and 4 screws. Got those 4 screws out, but it's not coming out. It looks like this larger screw on the side will have to come out as well. That side screw is attached to this, which I don't know what that is. So this piece become unscrewed, and it also looks bent. I wiggled this thing out of these side pieces, kind of up. You can see that belt, that is kind of a geared belt. Now I have a little bit of access to possibly getting that other piece into the motor. So I did manage to get it in. I used tweezers to tighten it up a little bit, but it's really hard to tell how tight it is. So there's at least a small chance that this is working. I got it back together. Watch this, the belt seems to be moving. Oh, this isn't moving. Is working. This thing has moved. This is slipping. I almost think that this has gotten bigger, this slot, that it slipped on the tape. So I literally picked it up and replaced it. It's a lot closer now, and it's not repeating itself, so it definitely is working. That's an unequivocal success. So after exploring and seeing that the motor was not anywhere in here, I did a little research, and the motor is actually in this roller. It is apparently in there, and it's geared down. Turns this roller, turns that head, which then turns the belt. So that's pretty cool. That's great engineering by IBM. My sense is that this was some kind of way to mark this card. And this card can be removed. And you can see that it has information about who made the recording, the department, the date, things like that. And it looks like if you watch very carefully here, this either pushes up the top piece of this bar, which would go on the LTR and make a mark, or if you're down here, it presses the bottom piece up. Pushes up here, and I would think that somehow the paper coming in contact with this, I don't know, the dial piece would have left some kind of mark, and if I did it here, it would leave a mark where the SEC seconds are. I don't know what exactly left the mark. I can't tell what's on this. I almost thought it would like punch a hole or something, and maybe that's in fact what it was, but when I do it now, I don't actually leave a mark. Particular marks here that would let you know that it's an important part of the recording. So thanks for exploring this vintage IBM awesomeness with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing or at least give a thumbs up. Remember, thumbs up never hurt nobody.